Mr Deputy Speaker, on the 1st of December 1988, we observed the first World AIDS Day. It was created as an international day to raise awareness of the AIDS pandemic caused by the spread of HIV and to mourn those that had died from the disease. In 2 days' time, we mark its 30th anniversary. And this event gives us pause to reflect how far we've come and to remember those who we've lost. But such events are also deeply personal to me. Because, Mr Deputy Speaker, next year I will be marking an anniversary of my own. 10 years since I became HIV positive. It has been a long journey from the fear of acceptance and today, hopefully, advocacy, knowing that my treatment keeps me healthy and protects any partner that I may have. When you are first diagnosed, you get that call from the clinic and they just say, you need to come in. They don't tell you the details. And you know immediately something is going to be wrong. So all the different worst-case scenarios flash through your mind. And of course, being someone who was a sexually active young man, HIV is one of those things that flashes through there. And so you kind of know, going in there, something is wrong, and it might well be serious. But at the same time, you are working out all the ways that this is just some joke. This is some technical error. This is some, kind of tiny thing that they're going to tell you that you'll be laughing about later on. You try and imagine the ways that you're going to get out of this. And then in that NHS room, with those cream carpets and the plastic seating that we all know, they tell you. And it hits you like a wall. And though you've prepared yourself for it, in your mind, nothing quite prepares you for when they say those words. And I remember looking up at that ceiling, those false ceilings that you get, and wishing that one of those tiles would just whip away and it would suck you up and you'd wake up and it would all be a dream. And it would all be over. But of course, the reality is, Mr Deputy Speaker, that is not what happens. Instead, you walk out of that room, and even with all the greatest support and advice that they offer you, you walk out feeling totally numb. And you have a million things running through your mind, but at the same time, a sense of absolute nothingness. And I've decided to make this announcement and speech today, Mr Speaker, Deputy Speaker, because earlier this year I was at an awards ceremony in Brighton. I'd nominated Gary Pergetter, who has been running a local club for people living with HIV for a number of years called Lunch Positive. He'd won the award and people were coming up and talking about how important the project was, how brave he had been, talking about his HIV status. And I felt like I'm watching someone who has done inspiring work, and I'm proud to have nominated him, but I haven't told anyone else in this room that I'm HIV positive too. And just like so many that attend Lunch Positive, I'm lucky because the medication means that I won't get sick and I can't transmit HIV. And I felt that if Gary and so many others could talk openly about it, then so should I. The second reason that I wanted to have this debate today is because we are genuinely on the cusp of eradicating new HIV transmissions in this country. Figures today show we are already, in parts of this country, halting the rates of HIV diagnosis. But we are at a fork in a road, and currently I worry that we might be starting to head in the wrong direction, with 700 million of cuts to public health between 2014 and 2017. We're not investing in the universal PrEP rollout, the pill that prevents HIV. And so I think it is important for me politically to speak out. And finally, I wanted to be able to stand here in this place and say to those that are living with HIV that their status does not define them, that we can be whoever we want to be. And to those who have not been tested, maybe out of fear, I say to you, it is better to live in knowledge than to die in fear. What was once considered a terminal disease is now seen as a manageable condition. Yet the information has not changed the narrative, which is still sadly framed in those scare campaigns of the tombs of the 1980s. Yet so much of LGBT culture also is marked by this spectre of HIV, something that has led to an incredible sense of fear about the disease. And in that hospital room, and in the days and weeks that followed, I had to come to terms with that fear myself. Yesterday, I was lucky enough to get a photo at the Martin Fisher Foundation and their Stiggy with the Stigmasaurus as part of their campaign to make HIV stigma history. And I hope other members who weren't able to will be able to join me in that pledge coming forward. Because stigma causes a treatable disease to become life-threatening, again due to the impact of an individual's mental health and their access to medication. No person diagnosed with HIV today should feel any less able to thrive and enjoy life than anyone else because of their status. But stigma is not just a UK problem, it is a global one. 15 years ago, 200,000 people around the world received treatment for HIV. Today, it is 22 million, but we still have 15 million more needing access to regular medicine.